Hey e-commerce marketing podcast listener, I wanted to let you know that we have created the 6-month guide to marketing your e-commerce store. You can download this guide by visiting getosi.com/guide or by texting getosi to 33444. This guide will show you how to get more traffic, sales, and conversions for your online store. Get the guide right now by visiting getosi.com/guide or by texting getosi to 33444. Welcome to the e-commerce marketing podcast. Today's guest is Jake Lassen, and Jake is the founder of videopower.com, and he has driven millions of dollars in sales using YouTube ads. Welcome to the podcast, Jake.
Thanks for having me, Robert. I'm excited.
Yeah, so if we can just jump into it. So how can e-commerce businesses use YouTube to get more sales and leads?
Awesome. I think before I dive into that question, I'd like to discuss how YouTube ads work, because I think once you understand like the framework of how YouTube ads work, then your eyes can be open to like seeing the possibilities for your e-commerce business.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
So these are the ads. These are the in-stream ads that you can skip after 5 seconds. And the elephant in the room is like, oh, do those ads even work? They're so annoying. I mean, people say they're arguably the most annoying 5 seconds on the internet, right?
I actually skip all of them.
Right, and that's totally fine. Like the majority of the people do. In fact, I got some numbers in front of me too that are kind of interesting, just based on what we've done with our clients. Like 80% of people skip those ads before 30 seconds. About 10% of people make it to the very end of the ad. 3% usually click the ad on the video, and less than 1% will turn into a lead or customer down the road. So like you're right, the majority of people skip that, but guess what? It's that 1% of those people that actually watch it, click on it, and move through your funnel. That's the 1% that like makes you money, that makes businesses money. So one of the cool things with YouTube ads is you're only charged per view, and a view is if they watch 30 seconds or engage with the video. So if you have like a 60-second video or a 2-minute video and people skip before 30 seconds, you don't have to pay.
Okay.
It's basically free branding and free exposure up until that point. And so that's kind of one of our strategies that we use. Like when you ask like how can e-commerce businesses use YouTube ads effectively, it really comes down to making the right video in the first place. So like, I don't know, let's say that you're an e-commerce company and you sell car accessories or truck accessories. Hey, you know what? Do you guys drive a truck? If so, keep watching. If not, go ahead and skip this video. It's not for you. So like within the first 5-10 seconds of that video, if you can call out your audience and say, if you are so-and-so person, keep watching, or even invite them to skip, it kind of just catches people off guard, right? It's not your typical ad that you see. So that's one of the strategies that we use, is like to call people like, hey, are you looking for the best, truck accessories online? And that way you use the creative or the video to filter people out. And keep in mind, if they skip the ad, that's totally fine. In fact, you want people to skip it because they're just not interested in that video, and that's totally fine because you're not wasting your ad spend.
Okay. And how many people actually, what was the stat of the number of people who actually watched the first 30 seconds?
Like I said, about 80% of people skip before 30 seconds.
Okay. 80 skip before 30.
And it depends. I mean, there's a little bit of variables too, like depending on the type of targeting you get. But one of our strategies is let the video itself filter people out, and that's kind of what we go for.
Okay, and is that the general overview we need to understand YouTube ads right before we get into creating the ads, or are there other things we need to familiarize ourselves with as far as YouTube ads? Yeah.
So then the only other caveat is like once I guess with YouTube ads, it's all done within Google AdWords. So when we talk about YouTube ads, we're really talking about TrueView ads within the AdWords platform, and that like. Again, the nice thing about this is it's guaranteed views, right? You're not like, uploading a video to YouTube or Facebook and maybe people will see it, maybe people won't. No, like you know for sure that people are watching it. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the view. So, and it's pretty cheap too. Like the average cost per view is only like 7 cents. So you can get as little as 2 or 3 cents too. And it's a high quality view. Like, I mean, if you're comparing it to Facebook, right? Like Facebook, a view is if they watch like 2 seconds with no audio scrolling through their Facebook feed. That's what's considered a view.
And sorry to cut you off, with the YouTube ads, is the only ad that you can create the one that shows up right before a video? Or do they have other placements within the whole of that YouTube environment?
Yeah, so there's 2 types of TrueView ads or YouTube ads. There's the in-stream ones, the ones that show up, the ones you can skip after 5 seconds. And the other one are discovery ads. And those show up in the right-hand side, like as suggested videos on YouTube. They were having some where that they show up in the search results. So when you type in weight loss supplement or whatever in YouTube, your video can show up for that keyword in search results.
So for the ads you're talking about, so how can businesses create ads to get more leads and traffic?
Yeah, I think it comes down to just there's 3 important factors. One is when you create the video, you need to call out your audience right off the bat within the first 5-10 seconds. So again, a strategy we use, like let's think of an example. Like if you sell some protein powder or whatever your e-commerce business is, are you looking to build muscle and increase your strength? Like kind of right off the bat, you're just kind of calling out that desire. You're calling out the audience. Maybe are you a muscle builder? Are you looking to whatever that is? Call out your audience in the first 5-10 seconds, because what that will do is it will attract the right people right off the bat, and it will repel anyone who's not interested. So you want to use the ad to filter people out and get their attention.
And even that way, for the people who are not interested, you don't have to spend any money on them or pay for their view, because they already know they're not interested. They skip. That's before 30 seconds.
Yep.
You're not spending any money on that ad for that person.
Absolutely. And it kind of takes people off guard too. Like people's finger is just hovering over the skip now button. So like one of the strategies I did when I grew our agency was like I said, hey, are you a video marketer or an entrepreneur? If not, skip this ad. I don't want to waste my ad dollars on you. Mm-hmm. So it's just like this kind of turns people's head and it's like, I don't hear that every day. So you just call people out, call out the audience, and then once
you've called out the audience, what's the next thing?
So then it's just like, then I call it, what's the problem that people are having in their industry, and then kind of telling your story about how you've overcome that. So with the protein powder, I don't know that I'm just spitting this off the top of my head, but a lot of other supplements do this to your body, but our supplement has this and this inside, which will give you the ability to build muscle quickly. Or you just outline the benefits, the strengths and the benefits right off the bat, build trust. And then the most important piece, the 2 most important pieces of the video are the intro and the outro. Like, so how do you get people's attention? Then you explain the benefits of the product. You show up people using it. You can have some testimonials in there. And then lastly is the call to action. And it's funny because like everybody still doesn't know how to leverage YouTube properly. Like it's an engaging platform. It's not like TV where it's a passive experience where you're sitting on the couch, you watch a commercial, and you can't do anything about it, right? You can just watch it and that's it. But with YouTube, like the whole the beauty of it is like you can watch it, but you can also click and you can engage, and you can get people off of YouTube and onto your landing page or on your e-commerce site. And so telling people to click and having a clickable button there, it's critical for the success of a campaign. And it's crazy how many ads I see where there's no call to action on it. It blows my mind, but if you can get people to click towards the end of the video, that's where the power happens.
And with the type of video ads that people have to create, does it have to be like a professional grade level type of ad? Like how much, or can you just create something with your own screen flow? What about the quality of the ad? How much should you invest in that? Does that matter at all?
I think it depends on what you're able to do and the brand, right? So like if you're an established brand and have a big customer base and you're well known, I'd obviously recommend keeping the video quality high end because that's the type of customer you're trying to attract. On the other side though, like starting out, I've done just an experiment. I've shot videos with my iPhone where I'm talking straight to my iPhone, telling people a story and telling them to join me on my webinar to where I could share more information with them. And that worked. I was able to generate leads from that too. But again, it depends on, I think it depends on your own brand and what you want to be kind of remembered for as far as quality goes.
What are some of the mistakes that people should avoid when they're trying to create ads in YouTube?
Some of the mistakes that I see people make, I think the biggest one, again, is not having a specific call to action. Like, I remember I had a conversation with a potential client, and they're saying, yeah, we want to have this in the video and this, and like they had like these kind of big dreams. And I said, okay, what's the purpose of the campaign? And they said they just want exposure. And I said, okay. And they want awareness. I'm like, okay, exposure and awareness, especially when it comes to paid advertising, that's guaranteed. Like, I guarantee you we will get exposure, and I guarantee you we will get awareness. But once people are aware of your brand and aware of your video, your story, then what do you want them to do? And they said, we want them to go to our website and opt into this form. I'm like, okay, so that's the whole purpose of the video, is to get people to opt into the form. And you need to build that video around that click or that call to action. So all the things that she was describing that she wanted in the video didn't really match up with that call to action at the end. And so you kind of just, I call it, reverse engineer the video. Like, ask yourself the question, after somebody's done watching this video, then what do you want them to do? What action do you want them to take? And typically it's, click for more information to send them to a site, click to sign up for a webinar, click to purchase a product, and then from there, build that whole video around that click.
Okay. And what about remarketing? Can you do remarketing within YouTube?
Absolutely. I call the YouTube, when you do YouTube ads with remarketing, it's kind of like Game Genie. You remember Game Genie back in the day? You just hook it up to your Nintendo console, and you could get like infinite lives and jumps super far. And it made the game so easy to beat. And so when you combine remarketing with in-stream ads, it's like Game Genie. It's just not even fair how easy it is to get customers and sales. So like, for example, when it comes to remarketing to an e-commerce site, what do they say? What's the stat there? They say like, if a site has a 2% conversion rate, that means 98% of the people who hit that product page aren't purchasing. And so they hit that product page on your e-commerce site, then they leave. Oh, and then guess what? They see your video that it's showing the product, it's showing customer testimonials, and it reminds people, oh yeah, I was interested in this product. Oh look, that person enjoys it, and they have good things to say. I need to go back and buy it. So then it's the easiest way to stop losing sales is when you combine remarketing with YouTube ads. And
for the remarketing, do you have to set that up within Google Ads, or does AdRoll allow you to remarket within their own placements, or is this just with Google Ads?
I've never used AdRoll, but most of our stuff is with Google AdWords. So you basically just put a pixel on your website, and you can say anyone who's hit this page and hasn't purchased are going to see this ad. And so that's the audience you can build out. I'm sure it works with AdRoll. I've never used that, so I can't speak to that.
And have you tried out or tested Facebook video ads and compared it? Have you tested both and seen which one has better conversions or success or is cheaper?
Yeah, I know we've used both Facebook. I mean, YouTube's our primary traffic source, and then we have launched a couple campaigns with clients where we do their Facebook video ads. And, we've seen great results on Facebook too. Both platforms work really well. And there wasn't when the campaigns that we launched, there wasn't that big of a difference. We were able to get the same cost per lead, cost per acquisition. It's just a different traffic source. So again, they Facebook and YouTube both work really well.
Okay. Again, thanks for being on the podcast, Jake. I know you guys have your video ad formula, and in this video ad formula, you actually show businesses how they can create the YouTube ads. You go over the three main things people need to be watching for, the intro, the content of the solution, and then the outro with the call to action. And listeners can get that from videopower.org/VAF. That's videopower.org/VAF. And again, we had Jake Clason from videopower.com. Any final thoughts, Jake?
No, I think once you have your offer, your product, one of the best ways to drive traffic and sales is with YouTube ads, especially with remarketing. So it just takes one video. That one video can move mountains in your business and really get people to see your story, see the product story, and how it can benefit their lives. So I think if you aren't using video marketing in your marketing, then you got to get on the bandwagon, because it's one of the best ways to grow your business.
Okay, Jake. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the e-commerce marketing podcast. Join the e-commerce marketing podcast Facebook group to learn, connect, collaborate, and grow with other e-commerce marketers at getosi.com/FB. Subscribe to us on iTunes by searching for e-commerce marketing podcast, and please leave a rating and a review. Thank you for listening. See you next time.